the psychic energy check-in for twin flame energy. I'm also going to be talking to you about some of your ascension symptoms and why they're popping off at the moment, to kind of get you balanced so you can maybe feel not so crazy. Okay, let's get into the energy. For those of you that are new, a warm welcome. I'm a psychic medium, as well as I cover the astrology. I tune into the energy energetically, as well as I am in twin flame union. I do coaching linking to it. Ooh, okay. Masculines have 3. Let's see what's coming through for feminines. How are we all in the house? How are we all doing? Hi, love. Now, have you been feeling a bit queasy? Have you been feeling a little bit letharged? Because we need to be looking at that. You need to be balancing your lower chakras. And at the moment, I'm having a herbal tea. I'm also having lemon and honey, because with the fair-based frequency and Chiron retrograde in Aries, it's affecting our energy. So, you know, Stella made a comment and Giggle and I were talking about it this morning, and I am actually starting to do that on Instagram to give you the chakra forecast as to what will come up with you. We will have crown chakra going on. Now, I will tune in separately and do the energy for the masculine and the feminine and what chakras are going to be coming up. Some of them can be synchronistically the same, and it still will resonate because of the fact that we have the yin yang energy in the hunter-gatherer and the things that you're doing in your day-to-day life, feminines. Because we have that imbalance, what you're finding is in the initial stages, you've had your upgrade while you've been sleeping. So when you have the food, it is going to settle in your stomach effectively. However, because it's the frequency of movement and energy, it's depleting and getting blocked by the afternoon and through to the evening. So you may find with your eating, you're feeling very bloated. It can be gas, it can be nausea. Eating the yellow food groups and meditating on that chakra can help. So I'm starting my day, because I've been having these symptoms too, with a herbal tea. You'll feel angry, agitated, confused, not have the energy to achieve things, maybe feeling lack of motivation. Hi, Chris. How are you, beautiful? So with that, when you're getting no appetite, it's the blockage within that chakra. So, you know, although with a purgatory energy, the emotions are also because Chiron is heart chakra. So we have high heart chakra. You can base your energy on the frequency of Venus energy. You can use green crystals. You can eat green food groups and meditate on heart chakra energy, as well as the lower chakras, which is linking to our fair-based frequency. Although our astrology is theoretically for the feminines direct, we still do have yin and yang. So when it does come to, yeah, well, there you go, high heart chakra. When it does come to that energy, trying to balance it and understanding why it's happening is really important. Now, you're also going to have crown chakra. Now, to balance crown chakra, a lot of people do have 12th house placement. Now, when it does come to Aquarians, are really hitting that heavy at the moment because we have the Capricorn aspect there. Pisces, at the moment, we have Neptune retrograding your energy. So again, it's still crown chakra. You are governed by crown chakra. So taking fluid, drinking fluid to flush it is really what you can do. You can do guided meditation, but it's really important too with that hunter-gatherer energy to actually sit and pause and reflect. So some of us at a very egoic state do believe we need to do things. You know, we've got to get out there. We've got to do things. Again, you know, feminines, high heart chakra, Chiron, you know, these things coming up. It doesn't mean, thanks, Sway, it doesn't mean that you haven't done the work. It just means from a holistic point of view, you could energetically be tapping in to the frequency of what your counterpart's going through. Having compassion right now is first going to start with self. But it can be synchronistically, all of a sudden you get these emotions coming through and you feel very empathically connected to people. You're finding that you're wanting to benefit. You're wanting to use your energy in a more positive frequency. But also the crown chakra energy there. You are love, therefore it is so. So when we say that, you know, sometimes we think we've come into connections and we haven't got that reciprocal energy back. That doesn't mean there was actually anything wrong with you. It's the channel in which we're on. And, you know, some interesting things I'm going to post on the actual community tab. And it is to do with frequency. The way in which we start our day actually directly manifests a lot of this energy that we usher into the day. It's almost like you stub your toe synchronistically, everything goes wrong. And then before you know it, and I found myself doing that the other day, I had gone down to get food for the family, and I had a bottle on the chair and it fell down, and I was like, went straight into that mindset because it dropped. And it's a fizzy drink, which I don't like. But at the same time, I thought, right, now that drink's probably, you know, going to be pretty fizzy and messed up. And it made me angry. And I know this is just slight, but I could have chosen that channel and that could have synchronistically plateaued and be shared to every vibration around me. Now, Twin was in a foul mood as well. So again, I was absorbing that frequency. And what I choose to do with it, I can flush it, or I can own it and vibrate it and then continue that cycle. So it's about stopping and actually understanding we do have a channel and we can turn it on and off. Do we absorb it? Do we replicate it? Do we mirror it? Potentially better not to, because then you directly then attract that same frequency to you. With frequency, I will be putting a post up and I'm going to do energy reads to do with it, to give you an example of how it happens. Now, we all the time are manifesting. At a spiritual connection and twin flame path, you are always attracting it. Now, with some of the coaching sessions, one energy that came up was to do with the fact of the amount of energy we give to things. Now, from a psychological point of view, if you can look at the connection in the initial stages with twin flame path, it is deeply addictive. It's, you know, almost at a psychological level, it overtakes you depending on where you are in the path. Intimacy does activate the Kundalini awakening. So some of you may not have had that yet. So it does agitate and open things up and move it deeply forward. It doesn't mean it can't happen. But once that activation is done, it can make that activation process within the Kundalini and your ascension symptoms quite aggressive in nature. So it's not good, it's not bad, it's just the energy of what happens. But, you know, to learn to have those intimate connections and to learn, you know, and then be really confused as to, well, I'm giving, so why aren't I receiving? But, you know, you've got to check the channel in which the person's at and go, okay, are they at that level yet? It doesn't mean they don't love you. It is something at a very personal, spiritual nature going on with them, and stepping back and having to make a healthy, hard choice and say, even if I love you to the moon and back, I'm probably setting myself up for self-sabotage because right now where you feel you don't look so great. And it's not a judgment, it's you're checking in for yourself. But in the early stages, it's very, very complicated to do that. Now, in a rational way to paint you a picture, the way you can navigate the path to get you to a place where you actually put things in perspective. You know the connection. You know it's very psychological. It's very interconnected. You start getting psychic attacks with it. You feel their frequency. But when you look at your life today or tonight, wherever you are in the world, what has been the dominant thought process in your mind? Then look at how much of that percentage was connected to today, how much of it was connected to yesterday, yesteryears, the past, and how much was it connected to the future? Think about that. Now, in coming back to that, in your day-to-day routine, what percentage do you use on cleaning, cooking, work, friendships, hopes and dreams, goals, bills, relationships? Now, in a rational sense, when we lose our compass, the reason we have so much to lose is because really when you do look at life and connections and look back at your past and look at parents and look at other people around you, the percentage in which we have time with that direct individual is potentially 10%. So it shows the direct importance that, you know, especially in twin flame path, your path is the hardest, I'll be honest. It's very important to get to that point where the cup at a theoretical level, we put it in perspective. If we have our work in order, if we have our foundation in order, we're no longer operating or vibrating from that codependent energy. And when we say codependent, when we reach 8th house placement, it gets us to a place of who can we and can't we depend on? What is the give and take? What is, has something changed? Can we grow with that change? They're the essentials when we do look at relationships, but twin flame path is very different. It's a huge learning curve, with that frequency. If you can navigate yourself to the point where you can get to a place you have all of those ticked, then it's the salt and pepper, and you're more in control of your access because you have something to do. You have something that needs your focus. But a lot of times when we did have things that we needed to focus on, the energy was swapped over, and to a degree, we would allow more than we would with other people. And it would take away from us, because then it was sort of like London Bridge is falling down behind us. Meanwhile, we're trying to rebuild, but it takes two energies to rebuild. So in the separation zone, you do tend to find that you have a lot of patterns that you break. You'll have connections around you, you'll have family members, and you'll wonder why on earth it's happening. It's because you have an investment in those energies, but they also have an investment in you. So while you're having all this adversity with those frequencies, you'll purge jobs, you'll purge ways of being in connections, and you'll feel quite tested. You will challenge that to a point where the healthy boundary is actually with self, that you're actually an advocate for yourself, and you'll say, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And you'll even move past the point where you will go to social events if you don't feel the need to, due to X, Y, and Z. And it's not that you're doing it just to be, horrible. You're looking at the reality of the responsibilities in your life and you're adhering to them without apologies. If it doesn't fit with another person's expectations, it's an expectation, it's not a reality. We can't fit everyone's needs. Drink lemon tea if you can. If it's hot, you can have like a herbal-based tea with the lemon, the honey, which is just kicking off your day. It's giving you the fluid for the crown chakra, and it's balancing the acid levels, at the beginning of the day. If you do want something else, it can be anything yellow. So pumpkin soup during the day. You can make a mango smoothie with a little bit of lemon, or turmeric, which can, has other medicinal benefits. But again, research it yourself. I'm talking more from a soul connection chakra point of view. Again, obviously, if there's something medical, you would need to go to a doctor. I'm not from that domain. I'm talking from a holistic spiritual point of view. I'm going to get into the reading. We're going to see what's coming through. Now, citrine can actually balance it. That's funny because we've got rose quartz, but it reminds me of citrine. Heart chakra energy is going to be coming up. Crown chakra energy will be coming up. Solar plexus, sacral chakra, and root for Saturn. And that's because we have the Capricorn energy there. But overall, with your energy, the reason you're feeling ever so tired is because those frequencies are coming up at the moment. I'm also seeing, when I was trying to do the thumbnail for YouTube, I get synchronistic recipes. Okay, and the recipe that came through was, I kept trying to type twin flame, and those, we're going into shadow of Mercury direct. It is currently in Cancer. We're moving into a new moon, which is blue moon in Cancer, which is providing us a new energy opportunity to turn over that new leaf. As we're moving forward, don't look at things that you're not being a success. You actually are, but the pause that you're experiencing at this point is to push you forward. Yeah. It's very heavy in energy, but if you use that in a sense of balancing that chakra, you'll find you'll be more energetic. We do have Mars in Aries, which is direct, but we do have Chiron in Aries retrograde. So you've got it, but then it's burning off because we're just kind of getting used to the energy of Chiron retrograde in Aries. Which cards should I use? Guides? Okay, I'll use those. Yes, thank you. And I'll use those. We'll see what's coming through. Spiritually, mentally, from the coaching and reading sessions I've been doing with masculine energies, they have been, Really doing a lot of closure work when it comes to the past over loved ones, frequency of ascension, a lot of ascension symptoms going on at the moment with fatigue. But again, because they are linked to Mars and they are linked to Jupiter, a portion of Mars is retrograde. I really feel quite bad for masculines at the moment because as we knew in 2017-18, those ascension symptoms for feminines were really heavy. Breakups, makeups, in, out, communication, no communication. It's plateauing now. And there is a level up. So even if you don't see your masculine, with the masculines I've been coaching and giving readings to, yes, there is a transformation. And many are coming into union. Don't get hindered or compare yourself to other people. Your process can change within 24 hours. And it is to do with the energy work. Like I said, most of these things, if you talk to me, I can actually channel where the blockage is. Your belief systems will come through in your throat chakra. I'll see a pattern and I'll be able to hone in on it to give you a hand to kind of start moving that frequency. And it is energy. If you have the channel in your head and you're thinking this is going to take, forever, you're actually extending that energy because you are psychically tuned into each other. And you need to link why that's coming up for you. Do you believe maybe the person hasn't changed? Therefore, how would you handle it? Now look back. Were they the same each step of the way? No. And are you? No. So make peace with that because it is almost the necessity for everything to be perfect. There's no guarantee that the Joe blog down the road that you end up dating is going to be any better or any worse for that matter. But if you're still synchronistically thinking of that person, tag or no tag, you need to be kind to yourself and tune into where you're at. Okay. You may find during this transit, we do have Neptune retrograde, you're really seeing the reality of things, right? Now, the reality of things, you have love. Holy moly, woman. I'll love you, lady. You don't have to share that with me, Swope, but I love you anyway. I'll accept graciously because my beautiful friend in America, Jen, has taught me to receive, which is what we need to do. This energy at the moment of presence, you have love in your heart. The analogy I can give you is when a person passes over, some twins at the moment are really angry with themselves because they're thinking, I'm angry at myself for loving this person. They're not reciprocal. You need to check that because is it illegal to love? If somebody passed over, they're not giving you anything. They gave you memories. You did get something from that, but you still remain in the resonance of love and heart space. So there is the presence of love. Your guides actually are helping you. You are the embodiment of love, but there can be some self-worth energies coming up. Does this person love me? Is this person returning to me? Neptune retrograde is kind of bringing those fear-based frequencies up. Maybe because we're really rationally looking at the pattern playing out, what things are, what it is. Sometimes we get scared that, the term healthy boundaries is, I have to tell them and be very hard. You test that to a degree, right? But ultimately speaking, you have absolutely no control over what another person does. What you do have control over, however, is how much you give. And that if, in fact, you have been great, which quite frankly, in an energy sense, feminines and masculines really to the core are. The experiences were due to hurt people. In general, feminines, you guys are good people. You do check yourself. You do the work on yourself. Why does the person come back to you? Because they directly see the value in you. But it can be a situation where something at some point in time and due to the circumstances, it's made you question that. It's sometimes it can come through very narcissistically, but again, it's from a pain body experience. And what I've seen from the masculines I've been coaching is it's a transformation does come through. Now, I'm not deeming it as the tag of a narcissist. I'm not a psychologist. I am talking about the energy between twins. Aggression, bullying, and things to that degree is very different. Doesn't mean it can't be transformed, but the person would physically need to go. And it is those hard boundaries where you'd have to say, I've got to put my foot down. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to do what's necessary for me. I'm building my ship. And I will directly, with the laws of attraction, attract healthy energies, because your healthy boundaries with yourself saying, no, I'm worth more than this. I won't judge you. And you can if you want, but just regardless, making peace with it and knowing it's not about you. We're attracting it because we're embodying a belief system, but it doesn't mean it's about you. Now, some of this healing, it's been a bit topsy-turvy. Chiron and Aries retrograde has been affecting us. Maybe we're a bit scared these patterns are going to repeat. Maybe we're thinking nothing's going to move. You've got to be careful of the self-talk. It is 12th house placement. And Mercury as well in Cancer. It's been that Cancer-Capricorn axis. Even the way we speak, the yin and yang of it, it is an 11 card. It's the importance to actually balance both. And I feel energetically you're tuning into the masculine's energy. They've got Jupiter and Mars energy almost retrograde. Mars isn't going retrograde till September 9th. Okay. But we have the Mars aspect in Chiron retrograde. So it's already preparing us. You're going to be tired. So if there's anything at a 3D level you need to do, that needs your mind, your energy, do it now. Because till pretty much, I think it goes direct to November, that's a long time to have no energy. So if you need that level up and you've got paperwork, you've got cleaning, you've got organizing to do, get it done now. But don't be angry at yourself. Acknowledge it and go, okay, now I'm turning over that new leaf. I'm looking at things a little bit differently. I'm going to be kind to even when an emotion comes up. Looking at it and going, it's okay. I'm not that old version of me. Because when we're punishing ourselves for things that we did, use it as a tool, come back to this space and go, right, now that I know that, every way in which I act is going to be different. I am accountable of my nav man. I now know from what channel I'm operating from that I can say yes, I can say no, I've got power. That is your power. And if something's great, why wouldn't the person come back? But your fear-based frequencies of previous energies have been, this is never going to be, which is polar opposite, no. If the person then goes off and will directly attract an energy, it is because, how do I give you an example? What they couldn't give to you, they're never going to be able to give to anyone else because it's the work we do on ourselves. So you're getting jealous energetically, and that is huge at the moment with Aries and Chiron retrograde. There is jealousy. Doesn't mean to say you're embodying it, but if it's coming up in a kind of, thought process, if they can't give it to you, they're going to be giving much less to the other energy because they haven't done work on themselves and they're willing to take less. You're not. And then because you're not chasing and you're sitting with that and you're going, you go through the 7 stages of healing, it will come back to you, but you need to be relaxed. You got to get into that relaxed energy. You got to look in the mirror and say, I am amazing. Why would somebody not want to come back to me? I'm not going to run after it. I unconditionally accept this person. And you wouldn't want somebody to come back to you that you're competing with. If they have that notion in their mind, well, you go get your greener pastures. And you're then, again, self-love. Great, you go do that, but I know who I am and I know what my needs and desires are. Okay? So a lot of the test in that is to show you who you actually are, but you just haven't owned it. That's how they see you, is this amazing feminine energy that just hasn't alchemized that inside yourself in a sense of a belief system. Making peace with it, being in comparison with another person, to be able to walk into a room and have hot men or hot women and go, that person you do adore, you are physically making a conscious choice to love them. It is not forced. If you wish to go, you can. And I will give you happy. I will not control you. I will accept you if you make mistakes. I make mistakes too, providing we learn from them. If we don't, you need to go away and do that. That's fine. Okay. Now, their crowning energy, heart chakra in reverse. Yours is in reverse as well. Again, they don't get this. But it's showing us what we do and don't like. It's giving us the clarity. You've got to have the shades of grey in between. It will benefit you. Base chakra, Capricorn energy. Crown chakra, Pisces, Neptune. Inspired of what they can create, seeing the delusions. And look, Neptune retrograde is great from a point that we see what the dream is and how to be creative. We also see what the falsity is of the delusion. Is it based on reality? It's crown chakra. It's your psychology. Aquarians are getting hit hard again. Theirs is amping up more so now. Now, younger energies that have Aquarius placement, if they've been a bit like, whoa, and up and down like a yo-yo, it's the hardest placement. If you can move to a holistic point of view, you can handle it. If you can't, it's deeply distorting. And for younger energies, they're going through ascension symptoms as well. It is their 12th house placement, which is psychology, your hidden resources, the house of imprisonment. And it's in the house of Capricorn, which is relating to government. So leveling up. What are you holding? What is your psychology surrounding this? Don't you understand that everything that you dealt with can actually serve you? And it's really important to actually have a healthy routine, to be able to drink the fluid during it, to be able to articulate your feelings in a safe space and to reconnect with that. So it's good that it's in the upright. During this, although they're seeing the distortion, they're seeing the reality of what the dream really is. When it comes to home, we had Mercury in Cancer. We still have that there in shadow. We're going to have the new moon in Cancer, which is the home at a collective level. Seeing where home really is, looking at the reality. Is it a nurturing location? The lockdown energy has been perfect to give people clarity about this. Unfortunately, yes, violence has spiked in connections, but it's showing you where we thought energetically, oh, I've got plenty of time, and we're making excuses. Now it's brought it to that pivotal point. Well, do you want to live like that forever, or do you want to sink or swim? And this new blue moon is, if you guys are stuck, do something. Masculine or feminine. For feminines, this would be, what would you physically need to do to create your foundation? What are you scared of? What would you need to do? Are you happy in a karmic relationship? If you're not, is this home? Or is this a prison? The new blue moon is helping you see that. So for masculines, they're in awareness of this, the need, the necessity for home to be stable and what they do and don't like. Hi, Stefan. Are you there yet? How's your twin? Is everything working good? Okay, so masculines. Let's see what's going on with you guys. Now, there has been some delays for feminines. We have the Chariot in reverse, and I do believe it's because Mercury, retrograde, in Cancer, 4th house placement. But, really? Okay, I'll have a chat to you about that in a minute. But it's also, we do have the blue moon in Cancer on the 20th. So you are together. I did ask that, didn't I? We will be getting Stefan and his twin on Yildiz reading shortly. And I'm going to be doing some interviews. Also, yeah, I'll talk about that at the end. Let's get into this read. Okay, so there's delays. And you guys, you may intuitively feel something's ready to go. But you're like, not yet, not yet. Why? I'm feeling tight. Oh, God, this isn't a great time. Is it ever going to be? Again, do the energy work in the top. And that should balance that frequency out. Now, again, this can be making you very cutting with your tongue at the moment and maybe feeling like you could really pop off at the last minute. But you're thinking back to conversations, things that went on, the way in which the communication went down. Is this person going to be the same way? It's understandable. Cool. We'll have a chit chat in a moment. Okay. In your heart, you're like, okay, am I going to be waiting forever? Try not to tune into that, because what's happening is, what you're getting is going to be the Emperor. Because that's the energy you've ushered in. So therefore, if in your heart you're feeling this is taking a long time, is it because you know what you deserve? That's good. But it doesn't mean to say at a 3D level that is going to take a long time. There is a blockage coming up, and as I mentioned, drink, lemon juice, orange juice, lemon and honey tea, iced tea, hot tea, yellow food groups, because it's fair-based frequency. You have an attachment energy here. Again, because of Aries and Chiron retrograde, it's coming up for you because of your belief system of give and take. And are you seeing a change? Do they see me for who I really am? Communication, no communication. Yeah. Because, you're creating your healthy boundaries. You're like, look, I've had enough of this BS. Like, I just don't. And I mean, the funny thing is acceptance come up the other day. And I had I think it was about a year ago, I had a situation occur. And I had a lovely gentleman who watches my channel as well as we talk, candidly as friends as well. And he is a client. And he said to me, Yildiz, you need to accept this energy. And it was a situation that was playing out. And I was mad because I was like, yeah, but I've done my energy work. Like, this isn't mine to accept. The funny thing is, it was for me to accept who I was. And sometimes we critically say to ourselves, but I have to be something. No, you don't. If you've tried, you've given it all you can, and you feel you can't do X, Y, and Z, it's to come to a place of what the situation is and accept that. It's not saying, yeah, I have to have it. It's not. Accept what it is. Come to terms with it. Closure. Third eye. Then accept who you are and make peace with it. And within 24 hours, it was moved. So the closure point, there is a blockage here, and you can link it. Whatever you're trying to come to terms with, I do think it's because of the ascension symptoms with Chiron and Aries retrograde, yellow food groups. Okay, and you're protecting yourself because you think this person isn't going to come in a reciprocal fashion. Again, we've got Neptune retrograde. We have Chiron and Aries retrograde. So all this distortion's coming through, and you're protecting yourself because you're physically exhausted. But what's coming in your future is this. If you have said to them, I need X, Y, and Z, and you get no communication, it's actually respectful because they're acknowledging the rule you created. It's not, they haven't forgotten. They're acknowledging the rule and statement you made. They're meditating upon that. Always 2 weeks later. They may be an ego at first, just as we do get. And they'll fight with it, ignore it, think of it, complain about it, and then come back to it and think on it. And go. Now, no longer is masculine. How do I place it? They're thinking on you. They're realizing after the fact. Feeling like they've missed an opportunity. Now, it's always hard, and it's similar to us when we have the frequency of looking back and going, gee, I wish I knew now. Back then I wish I had the information I have now. I would have dealt with things differently. They're picking the pieces up of their life. This is regret. Now, we can't regret what we didn't know we were doing. Like I said, hurt people hurt people. So there is a lot of purging happening with the masculines at an internal level of epiphany, revelation, understanding. With the heart chakra in reverse, self-forgiveness necessary. The healing of that is protective energy. There you go. So the clarifier. Thinking of that, feeling they didn't learn these karmic things, they made poor choices. We all do this to ourselves, but up in their head. Again, it's processing it, which means they're purging their ego. When it comes to the heart, it's due to the fact they're not forgiving themselves, but through this process is bringing them to that space. So the fatigue you're getting, feminines, can be because the masculines are getting fatigued as well. So another energy to think about. Okay, looking at the past for them. They do know that they were delaying the inevitable. They also know that maybe there was a bit of manipulation there in the way that people dealt with them, as well as maybe even trying to kid themselves how they didn't feel. So that, again, they're seeing this. They're reflecting upon these energies. They know that it could never work forever. They also, now that they're looking back at karmic energies and things that don't resonate with them, they're realizing it wouldn't have worked permanently, regardless of you being in the picture or not, because they had, at a soul level, been in a blocked frequency, did not believe in the entity and energy of connections. For some, not all, because some of those blockages relate to something totally different. But whatever they directly attracted at a karmic level is because they did not believe in those energies. Now, it's when you're ignoring it, it is that self-sabotage energy. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna binge, right? You don't think it's gonna go that long. But then as we dig that hole and we sweep energy under the carpet, at some point it resurrects its nasty head and it comes up. Okay, all these changes, there's regrets, deep, deep regrets in the heart. And this is the pain of accepting the story, right? You know, when you know that's not who you are as a human being, and you are awake and you see everything and you're looking at patterns and regrets. I wish I'd said this to this person. I wish I'd made that person more important in my life. I wish I hadn't hurt that family member. All of those things. They're holding and embodying great pain. But it's causing this transformation inside of them to come home to themselves, which has been the whole purpose of, you know, us making union with self is, you know, a person coming home to themselves, no longer wanting this disaster, you know, then being in love with their lives and being, you know, the person that they really are. They also know that if they continued moving forward, unless they actually do this, they can't have that. But it can be, again, lack mentality, but it's only because they're purging. They know that you are committed to them. They know that you love them. They also know where the love is and where the love has not been given. Okay, they're purging. Then it's the ego, right? They're purging the ego. This is their foundation. So be it at home, be it keeping up at night, it's hurt. You know, all the keeping them up at night. Looking at their lives, who they were and weren't. If you are with someone, if you're not. Their childhood, their growth, children that are older, somebody hurting them. They're assessing a lot of things here, but it's bringing them back. By looking at it, they're acknowledging themselves. It's they're doing their own counseling session right now. And at a collective level, look, Aries is the first house placement, so they're doing their healing individually because they are Mars energy. So in an egoic way, you know, when they are triggered, they do move towards connections because their shadow sign is from the Aries placement of Mars, Libra. So in a sense of judgment, we have Juno in Libra. So tapping into the feminine attributes, we do have the energy there of Juno direct, and it currently is in Libra. We also have Venus direct. So at an empath level, they're seeing these things. They're seeing where the happiness is, that they need to be doing things that are making them happy and what changes would need to happen for that. Okay. This came up. I'm going to pull a ruin because between you guys are feeling all of this was for nothing. Again, it's ego, right? Nothing's ever for nothing. Nothing is ever for nothing. Or this month alone with my astrology in my chart, I can say with the nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn, everything I karmically learnt over the last 2.5 years, I've directly applied. And I'm seeing the benefits now. So it's not for nothing. You have to have the dark for the light. You don't appreciate it otherwise. And it's not to say that's the reason why it's happening. It's an education. You know, if you burn your hand on the stove and it says don't touch and you touch it again and touch it again, change the recipe. That's where you're showing yourself you have learnt because you're changing your energy. Let me look at this for I don't think we've had this before. What's this relating to? Venus. Between you is love. And it's in the upright, which is good, I think. We'll read this. So, your wasted efforts. Let's look at this. It's connected to pine. And the funny thing is the pine, we used to say that the pineal gland was connected to our psyche, Pisces, distortion. It's where we tap into things, fire and earth. Cunning, skill, controlled energy, successful ideas, sexual attraction, spiritual illumination, inner guidance. In the reverse, which it's not, but you can look at that in the shadow, is painful healing, ignorance, and darkness, dark night of the soul energy. We have the skills to move forward or develop a good idea. Don't hide your light under the bushes. By sharing our knowledge, we will receive more in return. Understood to mean the application of the inner light to achieve one's aims. One's inner fire can be used for oneself. You can rid yourself of impurities and healing. So Aries and Chiron, I'm telling you. So it's Venus. It's shadow work. Facing that and realizing nothing is for nothing is helping us. Look, this is Venus. Come back to the heart space. Clear your heart. Chiron and Aries, high heart chakra. This is what this transit is doing for us at the moment. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and you're like, oh my God, this was a waste of time. Union's not going to happen. You will get to a point in your ascension. You psychologically will be thinking, oh my God, I don't even think this is about union for me at a psychological level. It's about feeling grounded and being able to operate in my day to day. So you want both, but you also don't want to be going, oh my good, you want to be able to function. So having that means what you're going through is going to serve a purpose. It's happening for a reason right now. Justice, okay, there is going to be justice relating to a cycle that has not ended, which is the connection. You're in the foundation is the Wheel of Fortune. I'm not feeling this negative. There is a change, but any change is scary because we're moving into uncharted waters of not knowing. I do say that when you do come into union, the way you operated before, you won't be operating that way because you're different, and everything, all the mechanisms you trained yourself, or rather twin trained you to tap into, they do benefit me, I will say. Sometimes I will use them in a comedy sense towards my twin, and he'll say, don't use my words against me, and I said, I will. But at the same time, you outlearn those because they're not necessary anymore. You don't taper your words. If you need to say something, you will say something. Initially, you're having to learn how to do that because it is the new version of you. But it's almost like if you're scared they're going to run, you're like, that's not the reason to not communicate my truth. It's like lie, you can't lie. And it's healthier. It's choosing healthier ways to deal with it. So you're learning how to be the new version of yourself. And it's like both of you had to get to know each other all over again. Okay. Focus on your spirituality right now. Take a little bit of time. I would say balance the lower chakra. I have put an Instagram post up. I will place it on YouTube for you on this occasion. More because it links to this read. To balance that chakra and what you need to do. Also, if you do want me to tune into your energy very separately, come through and I can do some energy work on you. But with Chiron and Aries, yes, it's high heart chakra. You can do a meditation on that. You can eat the green food groups. You can use crystals. I keep forgetting the name of it. Pink quartz. The green gemstones also, because it's high heart chakra. It's Virgo energy. If you're trying to psychoanalyze the reasons why it's happening, probably not a great time to do it because, yeah, Chiron and Aries is retrograde, but, it's very Virgo energy. You won't get the, how do I place it? The analytics and the understanding from a psychological point of view when they're not that person. It's a symptom. You're trying to understand a symptom. If you can understand the symptom in you, there you'll grow and make peace with it. But if you're looking at it as you're trying to decipher a code, you're trying to decipher a wound, not that's who they are, if that makes sense. And that's for him to create the healthy boundary. He's allowing it because it's throat chakra energy, the need to actually communicate and say, you're bothering me. We allow people to treat us certain ways. We can't control them, but we can say, that's not going to work with me, and then not answer, and then block. While you're trying to renegotiate all those things, it can be testing. And both parties end up being quite open to it. But, you know, if it's not going to bode in it, it's constant, it's not manageable. It has to be walked away from. Okay, at the moment, pause. Do you guys feel stuck again? This is why. Choices, they already made their decision. They know where they want to be. You guys don't realize that you are connected, but you're looking at it like you're in the hangman position. You need to have a little bit of meditation, I would say, in the next 3 days, moving into the new moon in Cancer. You may sense frequency coming through from that 4th house placement. What else am I picking up? And for masculines, okay. Movement, belief systems, location of residence is changing, and that will be between now and moving forward. Also, from a growth point of view, it's growing, and that's all changing. So if they were moving a lot, now they're not. If they weren't moving, now they're going to be. Also, what I do find is a lot of them had been in the forced energy of feminine frequency to tap into their direct emotions. Now they're learning how to articulate it. So it was forced upon them because they did initially have that frequency of being able to be in the hunter-gatherer mode and all of that. And then it was forced upon due to karmic frequencies for them to look at that shadow. Does that make sense? I hope you can... Any questions? I don't think I've missed anything. As for communication, I'm going to pull a card for that. At the moment, they're a little bit ashamed, or they're still processing. They're coming to terms with that. Your new chapter's already started, feminine. You're just not seeing it. You need to embody it. It already has started because you are going through a transformative metamorphosis. It's changing you. This Aries energy is changing you. So it is here. It's almost like you're shedding your skin. They're not feeling so great. They almost feel like they have their hands tied, but it's more with so much going on as well as this emotional purge. They're going to get very tired in the next 2 weeks, but I do feel probably moving into August, it will feel a little bit better. What else can I see? Subjects surrounding home are going to come up. That can be when it happens. Also, communication potentially. Communication is going to become more so. But they're also looking at their psychology because Neptune is in their 12th house. Now, for feminines, let me look at yours. The way in which you were talking, seeing things, that's all changing. Your routine is changing. It is everything you were doing before is going to completely change. It is between now and the next 2.5 years. Your tribe's changing. The way you communicate with your siblings and your connections is changing. Your culture can be changing too. What's going on in the collective can be affecting you. You also are going to be moving a lot also. So this can be move of home, move of residence, but your routine and your movement, it's like you're feeling more where you resonate with. And your health house is being activated. So your mind and your body is affecting your health. You need to pay attention to your diet. You need to pay attention to your psychology and the things you're tuning into. The 10th house is also coming through. If there's something you need to change, if you have been at a very spiritual level looking at your career sector and wanting to change things, now would be the time to start operating. Put your energy into that you do directly have control over. So, you know, be it networking. And I'm going to do the reads this month coming very differently, where I am going to focus on couples, singles, and I'm going to be connecting in, you know, all the houses, and I'm going to try and do it that way, because not all of you are TFs. Not all of you. You're not, you are on TF journey, but sometimes there can be energy around you that can be other people. So I have to tune into it. So I am going to be doing that. So it's going to be couples, singles, and we'll see how that goes. Any questions before I love you and leave you? Thank you for the donations. I love you all. Appreciate it so very much. Anyone new in the house, a very, very warm welcome. Because we've got Pisces there. Funny. And Juno's in Libra till October, so yeah, it's hitting our health sector. When it comes to your routine, pay attention to it. When you're psychologically getting out of balance, you know, have a look at that. Meditate, drink fluid, because you're flushing toxins, you're transmuting frequency. What else can I say? Also with your animals, pay attention. They might be acting a little bit strange. When Mars goes retrograde, be very careful with your animals, because it can cause deep aggravation and agitation. And even a dog, or, you know, something that really has been very gentle, it may snap. You need to be mindful of that, because again, Neptune retrograde as well as Mars retrograde. Ooh. Yeah, just pay attention to that. Any questions? I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got something out of it. I'm going to go back to drinking my tea. Have you noticed how for feminines, functions for their father and it won't always be the same parent. With me, you do tend to find that you will have one, and it doesn't even have to be DNA. If you were adopted, it will be tribe energy. There will be one parent where you mastered, and they will actually, yes, completely mirror the energy of your twin, either side, male or female. The other can be very karmic in nature, almost like the karmic. And it doesn't even have to be that they're a nasty energy. There will be some resonance somewhere of an energy in your life that exudes karmic frequency. So you kind of got the yin and yang of it. That energy trains you, then you empathically connect. But each zodiac sign will have an attraction to the reason why they're connected to twin. But again, it will come down to your chart. Check in with job. I knew he'd call. Okay. Was that connected to the prison? I'm just going to say it. No shine. You do realize rejection is universe's protection. Checking the job. Don't stress if it's not come through, because I literally do feel with Mercury going direct, you've got a lot of Capricorn in your chart as well, which is quite business orientated. Plus we had the axis of Cancer Capricorn. Yeah, no, you weren't. I told you wouldn't get that one because of, you know, but trust me, I didn't have a good vibe about that one. I really didn't. And with that other energy, knowing that location, it's toxic energy. Don't invest in that frequency. I did say to you, though, there will be an investigation. It's fun being psychic. But yeah, no, you don't want that. But you, at the moment, are split. Because I've noticed spiritually with you, you're kind of on the fence. You may wish to go into the holistic aspect of things, but then you're pulling back to the traditional point of things. Let me look at your chart. Technology and communication, got Saturn and Capricorn, that's moving forward for you. You also have, you've got to team up with like-minded energies. It can be a large company, that it can even be, let me look 1 minute. Now, if you were going to run a business from home, 2021 is great for that. If you are looking more at networking, I would say with Mercury going direct, networking with people you know. Also, 8th house placement is going to teach you to, you'll almost be able to psychically channel the person's frequency. So are they with you? Aren't they? You'll walk into an interview or you'll get a letter back and you'll know automatically. Read the fine print. Now, it's not because it's Mercury retrograde. It's because in your 8th house placement, you have Gemini, at a collective level, at a standard zodiac sign for you at your zodiac. I do feel between now and October, you are assessing all your contracts and you're still having a soul upgrade, but you're testing things. You're in the testing phase. It's really hard at this point because we have had such heavy Capricorn energy high that, to start off new ventures, it's slow going. If anyone's to start a business at this point, because of the nature of Capricorn, we've got it in Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, it's going to be like Abraham Hicks rolling up the rapids backwards. So quality systems, get the foundation done, do your research, get everything prepared. It's not saying don't launch it, but the most success and the light of the energy will more be 2021, because we then have Saturn and Jupiter in Capricorn. Or if you're going to a job, make sure it's similar or it's something you have the experience in. With you, with the energy in the 3rd house of Capricorn, it needs to be a large corporation because it's Capricorn orientated, which is, it can be government, large. We've got Saturn moved into Capricorn. We also have, at the moment, Pluto's retrograde. So, they're still moving and shifting things about in businesses, government, etc. But it should, room may come up around the time, let me see where your Taurus placement is. Neptune retrograde, which, not Neptune, Uranus retrograde, August 15th, there can be surprising spaces. There you go, it'll relate to you too. Capricorn. Okay, my beautiful, I hope that helped. But yeah, don't worry about the fact that I feel you're very protected. Very, very protected. Find it amusing, because we discussed this. Find it amusing that happened, because it's not. Those systems are going to have big changes as well. That can be another reason why universe is protecting you. Any other questions? I'll have a chat to you later. Love and light, everyone. If I have missed it and you have any questions, and have a, there you go. Yeah, keep going. Don't stress. Even the quartz you'll find maybe, they did say, depending on where Mars placements are, look, Neptune, it's the crown chakra with, the lockdown energy. There can be assessment of that because it's crown chakra, so they'll be assessing it and, problem solving in government, etc., and globally. So it is, things are opening up, but there could be flare-ups with Mars and Jupiter energy. But again, it's more the quality systems. Okay, how do we get a taper on this? How do we move things around? So openings as per se, especially in Perth, WA, they should be coming soon. Will I find somebody else soon? What zodiac sign are you, beautiful? Capricorn. And I needed to talk to Stefan as well. Capricorn. Okay. With Capricorn, your Venus house is Cancer. So, you guys have had a 2.5 year rough battle. You've been balancing your own energy of accountability, transforming who people thought you were versus who you actually are, maybe even overtly living by their standards and transforming that. I'll just mention Capricorn, then I'll come back to Taurus. And, your romance house is bouncing off. Now, Taurus... So, for Capricorn, they're going to start attracting that correct frequency. But it's about choosing the correct ones that, match who you are. Taurus. I've been doing your astrology already for Instagram. So I did yours. You're really attracted to a very mysterious energy. There potentially could be at the moment a lot of reflection back on a person from the past. That is because of the Scorpion placement there. But also you feel something's hidden from you. If you are tuning into someone, you may feel you can't quite read their frequency. But the person that you're going to attract, they're going to have to grab you. Like when I say grab you, they're going to have to really, they need to have depth of feel. Like a painting. If it's too simple, it just won't do. It just won't work. Let me see when the energy is coming through. Okay, November, we do have a super new moon in Scorpio. That'll be activating your Venus house. There you go. There can be an opportunity there, but it will be ending a cycle and beginning a new one. Dating and things to that degree, because we have such heavy Capricorn energy, as long as you're not moving into any connection at a codependent level, because Capricorn sort of like your tire blows up and you want your partner to come and help you. They can't because they're otherwise MIA, because each person at an accountable level, the Capricorn energy, it's kind of taking us up. It's keeping us busy. And, most energies at the moment are having upgrades. There can be positivity surrounding that time. We should have peace each day. But with ascension, it prevents it. That's the blockage. Once we're going through that and it's coming up and we're feeling the energy, we're actually mastering to a point. You go, okay, when the energy comes in, you need to blow it out, because it makes that person, because you are telepathically connected. You will not have a peaceful time. Readings will not resonate with you because you're purged, and because you are now learning to listen to yourself, not to an external. But something maybe that you're not looking at. That's okay. Did I miss any ones? Yeah, so anyone that's Taurus, there could be mass movement around them, but I'm still feeling the energy coming sooner, especially around August. Also be mindful around work, Taurians, but I'll put that in the energy reads anyway. It's because you got Pisces in the 12th house, call it. You got 12th house placement, which is your psychology. So you might have had 2-3 months you were feeling great, and then all of a sudden it's just like nonchalant, non-motivated, triggered. It's because you got the crown chakra activation, which is technically, it's your subconscious mind. So if you're playing things over, feeling lack, you've got that placement there till the end of the year. It has actually been there for a while. So you had a bit of a break when Saturn retrograded into your first house, but now it's moved back into Capricorn. So if it's come out of nowhere all of a sudden, it is because of that frequency there. Venus and Taurus. Really? Keep busy, have purpose. Each day we need to have purpose. So, Stefan, how are you? When are we going to talk? Love that, Chris. We shall have to talk soon, my friend. So for you guys, I should send you a clock. Stefan and I had a bit of a coaching session with his twin. And she's, you know, they were waiting for the reconciliation, and I said that, you know, he was to send her a shirt and a clock, because she said she wanted to hear the heartbeat. So I'm going to send you a ticking clock. I'll get you a teddy bear clock, so whenever you've got to go to work or do something, she can hug that. Yeah, just trust it. Let go, Carl. Don't stress. You're breaking patterns. We're breaking patterns. Self-mastery. Get purpose. Anything you haven't done, psychically they tune into you. So tune into, well, what are you doing on here? You should be back in the... She's going to get mad at you, man. Give her some citron and lemon, okay? Because her chakras, they're going to be kind of bouncing. Love and light, everyone. I will talk to you later. I'll come back later. I've got clients today, so I have to run. And I've got lots of videos to record. I can do it. Love and light.